Yeah, the next one up I know pretty well. It really is an honor for me to give this award to someone that I admire, so much. There's so much that I can say about Judge Duane Slone. From knowing him and his wife Gretchen, personally, working with him bi-weekly as a member of his recovery court team and board member, I can tell you firsthand how passionate he is about recovery and those that he spends hours trying to help obtain it. As many of you know about our NOS problem, and I've often heard him say, and I stole his words the other day, but I guess that's cool. It's a tsunami, people. It is, and Appalachian region is taking us over. But he has gone to bat and just dived in there and started taking care of this problem, knowing that it's out of control. As passionate, he has fought to sunset the fetal assault bill due to detrimental effects on women and their unborn children. His fight for recovery is beyond that. He has pioneered the BLARC program, which is a voluntary contraceptive program along with the health department for inmates tagged with a mandatory educational session for the men and the women, folks, not just the women, about neonatal abstinence syndrome. Amazing. Recently, he received the PAL Award from the Department of Health, which he is the first person out of the health field that actually has received that. See how good we are up there in the 4th Judicial? He is our 4th Judicial Recovery Court judge, as well as our Circuit Court judge. The 4th Judicial Judge, I'm going to tell you something about our court. Please come and visit us. I've already invited Laura to come sit in with us. It is an amazing experience. And I do invite you all to come and see the judge's compassion, his stern guidance, he's no pushover, faith in the participants and in God, and just plain old love. He loves to hold them babies, I'm telling you. Go on our website and you'll see them, right, Judge? We have a sober house that we're very proud of there that houses 7 women. And I believe we actually talked about this, Mary, and correct me if I'm wrong, Your Honor. But at this point, it's housing 7, and there's only 11 availabilities within our state for pregnant women that are struggling with neonatal abstinence. Is that correct? 11, I'm sorry, in East Tennessee. So I got that right. This is a house that also is offered to women, but it keeps our women accountable that are incarcerated. And it gives them a life. It gives them a hope. Okay, and that's what it's all about. He's currently working to raise funds for transitional housing for our area, and it's in the process of doing fundraiser, folks. Last but not least, he and his wife have done one of the most honorable things in my book as a human being, is that they have adopted 3 beautiful neonatal abstinence children themselves. Today, I wanted to also bring a trophy of his admirable work, and that's Alicia Graves. If you'll come up, Alicia. She doesn't want to talk. She is actually one of our recovery court participants. She is almost 3 years clean, guys. And one of the greatest things about her, she is now a certified peer recovery specialist. And yeah, isn't that cool? And she works for Watauga Recovery in Cott County? Yeah, Newport. But without further ado, I want to introduce to you the wonderful, honorable Duane Slone. Get a hug?
Yeah. I get one from you, too. Well, Representative Farmer has to run every 2 years, so he knows to keep his comments brief if you can vote for him. But since I have to run every 8 years instead of 5.5 years, and none of you can probably vote for me, I'm going to spend about the next 30 minutes really enlightening you about what I'll try to. I will be brief. A few things I do want to say. One is just thank you so much for the honor that you've given Representative Farmer and I. It's as Andrew said, I'm deeply humbled, very honored. There's a couple things I did want to share with you. I come from a professional past of being former drug prosecutor. After that, when I took the bench in 1998, but let me back up with the prosecution days. I mean, I worked with all the initials, the DEA, Drug Task Forces, FBI, ATF, all those guys. And those guys back then, the early 90s, in the height of the war on drugs, they all understood if they've been doing it long, this war can't be won on the supply side. It's won on the demand side, and that's where you are. And so this Voice of Recovery Award that we're given, I just want to thank you, everybody that's in this room, that are in the trenches, Commissioner Varney. Thank you, sir, and thank you for Deputy Commissioner Bragg and Ellen Abbott, I know is here, and just so much work that you do, each and every one of you. And thank you, the ladies that cooked this meal tonight and served us. Thank you for being in the trenches and you are the collective voice of recovery. And as 10 years ago on the bench, and I heard of a woman that was drug addicted and giving birth to a drug addicted baby, I was the first one to say, why are they not being prosecuted? So how did I change? I started doing drug recovery course. So what happened? I started getting educated. See, there's hope for, not all judges are ignorant and arrogant. Not all doctors are greedy and arrogant. So there's hope for us. And so, but I started learning. And it was 4 years ago now, 5 years ago, that my wife and I got a call from some grandparents about a child that had been born, spent his first 52 days in the neonatal intensive care unit with the whole soup, but sick from the opiates. And so we agreed to adopt that baby. And so we got a focus in our judicial district on neonatal absence syndrome. But, and so I guess kind of what lands us here tonight is that it gave me the opportunity to really be working on that. The fetal assault legislation, I was familiar when it was going to be, when it was brought up to be passed. You're right, the proponents of that legislation, their hearts were in the right place. Absolutely. But that's what happens when we get ahead of, any of y'all watch Andy Griffith? Remember Brother Darling? Brother Darling talks about it. He said, Andy, when I get to rolling too fast, I got to put on my square wheels. But we need to put on our square wheels more when we go to enact laws. But we need to, one of the things, I just left Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. Mary Linden and I, Representative Farmer, and 9 others from multiple disciplines, Department of Health, Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, TAADAS, the Drug Court Association, we all came together, and that's what we got to do, is come together and by way of multidiscipline approach and talk about these things. But but I just want to just thank you. It's through that education of each other and engaging our community, engaging your school boards, engaging your sheriff's departments, engaging your local legislatures, talking to your judges. We have an opportunity in October to get in front of the entire judicial conference, Commissioner, and Dr. Lloyd, Tommy Farmer, Dr. Sturdivant from the Department of Health. We're all going to be there. We're going to have them all, as many as we can get in the room. We're going to attempt to let them know this is not just criminal justice. It's all of us. But I want to conclude with this to tell you that, and I know that I'm right, and you heard it from his own mouth, that I am committed to bring everything I have, every resource I've been provided, every gift I've been given by our Creator, to do everything I can to draw my last breath to bring meaningful recovery to all of our communities, whether it be they metropolitan, urban, or rural. Thank you for what you do.